show red. Oh, run it. Run red.
All rise. I see you canceled the fitness membership. Quando omni fluncus moritani. Sit down. All right, now bow your heads for the man's prayer. I'm a man, but I knew you knew it. Well, I decided to get off my butt, take these lodge meetings on the road one last time. Because I wasn't sure how much longer I'd be able to tell you stuff, and I wasn't sure how much longer you'd want to hear it. So I'm going to treat this like it's the last time I'm going to get to talk to you. I may jump around a fair bit, from one thought to the next. If you have trouble following me, not a problem. Just stare off into space for a minute or two, and I'll be on to the next topic. If you're married, you're probably good at that. I haven't seen you in a couple of years. Been a few things going on up at the lodge. Somehow a sinkhole opened up under Buster's place, and his home started going down. By the time it was over, his 2-story house was a bungalow. So he went down to the town office because he thought that meant they should lower his taxes. But they said no, because now he has a finished basement. Junior Singleton finally got up the nerve to sit his wife down, tell her straight out, he does not want to have children. She was really upset. She said he should have told her that before they got married and before they had the 3 kids. Okay, there's another thing. You get to my age, can't help it, start thinking about mortality. It's a new feeling for me. When I was younger, my main goal was to try to outlive my car payments. Now here I am, thinking about what kind of music to have at my funeral, looking for a casket on eBay. The other day I was in a store trying to buy something, and the guy says, that comes with a lifetime guarantee. And I'm thinking, big deal. Of course, now my wife doesn't want to think about that kind of stuff, but she doesn't have to. She's a woman. Women live longer than men. You know why? I do. It's not because they're stronger. They actually have less muscle, less bone. They're softer. That's because they have more fat cells. I didn't say more fat. I'm not crazy. I said more fat cells. So how is it that the ones who have more fat cells, women, live longer than the ones with more muscle? Us. And they give birth. If I ever gave birth, everybody within a 10-mile radius would know something was going on. If it didn't kill me, I would regret that. But women do it all the time. They give birth by making another person inside their body and then firing them out through the eye of a needle. And not only surviving, but actually outliving the guy who only came to the first meeting. How can that be? Nobody knows, except me. But before I tell you, I want to tease you a little bit. You ever been on a road trip with your wife, and all of a sudden she needs to use the restroom real bad, and you need to pull off the highway right now? even though you purposely didn't have a coffee just so you could go another 300 miles. If the car was overheating, or you're running short on gas, or you got a soft tire, you pull off in a flash. But for something like a bathroom break, when it's not your bathroom break, well, now that's a problem. Why didn't you go at the restaurant where you were having breakfast? Or at the gas station while you were filling up before you hit the freeway? But you don't ask any of these questions because you've asked them before. And the answers negatively impacted your day. So instead, you just sigh, say something under your breath, get off the next exit. You pull into the nearest gas station, but you don't stop at the pumps. You drive right up to the ladies' restroom because you want every other man there to understand the situation and silently feel your pain. Your wife goes in for the restroom key because you refuse to go into a strange gas station and ask for the key to the ladies' bathroom, just in case the clerk misunderstood your intentions and was armed. So you watch your wife go up to the counter, come out with the key, go into the ladies' restroom, 2, 3, 4, come out with the key, return it to the counter, come back to the car and say, "We need to go someplace else, that bathroom is icky." Or how about the time you booked a cabin for the weekend and the two of you went up there for a romantic getaway and everything was going great until your wife found out there was only an outhouse. And that was the end of your weekend. Okay, have you figured it out yet? No? Well, let's work backwards. The reason women hate outhouses and icky bathrooms is because they sit down to use the facilities. Most of the time, we don't. We don't care if the seat is dirty. We don't plan to be on it. And we've all heard stories about snakes and other animals coming up through the hole of the outhouse. Well, a man will see it coming. Whereas a woman gets blindsided. But that's the reason they have the better life expectancy. It's that simple. It's because they sit down to go. Think about it. You as a manly man go 5-6 times a day, 2 minutes at a time. That's 12 minutes a day, 84 minutes a week. You spread that over a 60-year period. That means you're standing up 4,368 hours more than your wife is. No wonder you keel over first. And you're the one with all the muscle, which weighs more. It's probably more like an extra 10,000 hours on your feet. Guys, we gotta sit down. We'll live longer. We'll live neater. We'll live drier. And ladies, the seat will always be down. Yeah, I know. There's a pretty good chance that at some point in your marriage, your wife is going to turn to you and say, "You're an idiot." Now, you may be one of those sensitive guys who takes that as a hurtful criticism, but I'm here to tell you, this could be one of the best days of your life. All right, first step, you got to examine the situation. What was the exact wording? Was it just, "You're an idiot," or were there some adjectives thrown in there? Like, "You're a complete idiot," or "You're a total idiot," or the big one, "You're a stupid idiot." Now, you may be tempted to point out to your wife there's no such thing as a smart idiot. But based on my personal experience, I wouldn't recommend it. But my point is, adding adjectives to the word idiot doesn't make the message more negative unless the letter F is heavily involved. All right, next you got to look at the tone, all right? I'm talking about the pitch and the amplitude. But don't say the word pitch to your wife just in case it comes out wrong. So if the "you're an idiot" is, say, under 1,000 cycles at less than 50 decibels, it's almost a compliment. But if it's over 5 megahertz and more than 110 dB, okay, you got a problem. And what were the physical dynamics when the comment was made? Were you both sitting? Were you sitting and your wife was standing? Were you sitting and your wife was standing on the kitchen table? Okay, I know it looks bad, but if you handle this properly, the whole thing can work in your favor. Main thing, don't overreact. In fact, don't react at all. Just stand back and think about it. Did your wife say "you're an idiot" like it was a total surprise to her? Or did she say it like she'd figured that out long ago? Okay, that's the one you want. Because when a wife thinks her husband is smart or competent, anything you do that's dumb or incompetent, she takes as a personal insult. You have the brains and ability to do things properly, so it must just be that you don't care enough about her. You know it's not true, but if that's how she feels, the truth doesn't matter. But if over the years you've convinced your wife that you're a useless idiot, anything you do that's not half bad is like a gift. But there's a trick to it, okay? The minute your wife accepts that you're an idiot, you got to immediately do something smart. That's because there's a very narrow range of idiocy that she'll put up with long term. If you're too much of an idiot, she'll wonder why she married you. But if you're too smart, it raises her expectations. So instead of being a smart guy who occasionally does an idiotic thing, you want to be an idiot who occasionally does a smart thing. That's your wheelhouse right there. That's the sweet spot. So the next time your wife says "you're an idiot," look hurt, hang your head, while you secretly give yourself an attaboy. Well, just in case we never see each other again, because of health issues or me being under house arrest, or one of us finally getting a job, it'll have to be you. I wanted to leave you with something. I thought about getting you a gift, but then I remembered how cheap I am. So then I thought maybe it'd be better if I just make a wish for you. Wishes are easy to carry. You don't have to gift wrap them, but you got to make sure they fit. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what would be the perfect wish for you. I thought about wishing you money, but you bought a ticket to see me, so you're obviously loaded. I thought about wishing you health and happiness. I was afraid of being sued by Hallmark cards. I even started thinking about wishing you love, but Bernice said I should be careful. She said love can be a lot of work. She seemed to know what she was talking about. Then I realized the best thing I could wish for you would be something I would want for myself. And I got it. And here it is. I wish you a simple life. You may think you want fortune or fame, but look at all those Hollywood stars who get both and then go nuts trying to keep them. Success is great, but it's hard to keep it going. Whereas barely scraping by is something you can do forever. I hope you have a job you like, or a job you can learn to like. Got to be something good about it. Short hours, good benefits, almost no chance of losing an eye. something. Maybe just work with a guy you like, or can tolerate, or hardly ever want to kill. That's good enough. Joke around a little. We can't all have fun jobs, but you can have fun with the other people there, unless you work at a medical center. Colonoscopy jokes are only funny when you're not having one. I hope you can cut yourself some slack. I know people expect you to be the best at something and to never quit until you get there. And if you can be the best at something, hey, go for it. But if you can't, I say give up. And the sooner the better. I'm not saying you should be a total loser. Just be the best version of yourself. And if that's not good enough for somebody, well, they're going to have to get over it. I wish you some confidence. Not too much, just enough. We all want to have a strong self-image, but only if it's realistic. I hope you think you're smart and funny, but if you look around the room and notice you're the only one who feels that way, you know, being quiet is good too. Mainly you want to stay within your comfort zone, and you'll be letting your friends do the same. Speaking of which, I wish you low-maintenance friends, even if it means you have to be one yourself. We all need a little help every now and then, but if you got a friend who only calls when they need something, and they call every day for a year, it may be time to cull the herd. Nobody likes needy people, not even doctors. Hospitals have intensive care units, not intensive need units. I wish you humility. People who try to show off usually end up a write-off. Don't buy things you can't afford. Don't get sucked into some exotic sports car with huge payments. The salesman may be friendly, but the repo guy isn't. Why would you want to have a fancy car anyway? To impress people? They're not even looking. And you don't need to have the biggest house on the street. The expensive homes raise the value of the crappy ones. You want to be on the right end of that equation. I hope you're a simple parent. Don't make a lot of rules. Just stick to the basics. Even if your kids are a pain, take care of them like you like them, and one day you will. Then when you get old, it'll be their turn. I wish you fun. Everybody can have fun. That sad face doesn't fool me. Even a basset hound has a toy. Have fun. But keep it simple. A ball game, a day at the beach, a neighborhood barbecue. Just remember, not everybody likes to be tickled. Learned that one the hard way. And there's nothing wrong with having a beer after work. If you're having 10 beers after work, you shouldn't have that job. And pretty soon you won't. And finally, I hope you have two special people in your world. Two people who you like enough to spend your whole life with. The first one is you. You don't have a choice about spending your life with that person. Be nice if you like them. And we all know the best way to like yourself is to be a good person who always does the right thing. But if that's too tough, hey, lower your standards. The second special person is almost as important. I wish you a best friend, or someone you really care about, or even better, someone who really cares about you, or best of all, someone who's all three. So that's my wish for you. A simple life. You'll laugh more, you'll sleep better, and you'll live longer. Especially if you sit down. Well, I promised my wife I'd be coming straight home after the meeting. This could be it, and if it is it, I want you to know I have no regrets. Well, okay, not no regrets. But I apologized to that farmer and I paid for the cow. Aside from that, let's just see how it goes. So for what could be the last time, let me remind you that no matter what happens to you in life, keep your stick on the ice.